Yeah, I think that's 8,000 right there, so I'm done. Yeah.
Almost there. Yeah, just checking the trans fluid level and throwing a new alternator belt on here. Should be ready to go. I think that's it. Everything else looks good. See what it does.
What do you think a number was? You got a guess? Everybody's got a guess.
I don't know.
I know it's their glide.
I feel like a
9-inch.
Yeah, I'm not even worried about that. I don't know how far he wants to push it.
True.
I think the guy just wants to get in it and, you know, run it around a bit, I'm sure. He might get it to a nice solid number that will give the guys some fun for a bit, and then, you know, he likes to wait to get the stuff to the track to really lean on it, especially turbo stuff, because it's easy to just turn up the boost.
He's thinking Alex is going to keep it pretty conservative.
I'm gonna blow some shit up.
We did that with our car.
Yeah.
That's not the goal.
Yeah, we put our shit on nice. Alright, get her. Oh, she's on. Alright, we got the channel. Dude, the other one, I mean, it was smooth,
So turbo Foxbody on the dyno?
Yeah, the thing's actually pretty nice.
It is, yeah.
Should make decent power. I would think, like, if everything all plans out, it might make 900 out.
I mean, through 9-inch and power glide and stuff, who knows?
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, this thing makes like 950. It will roll out. I mean, it's probably only 2,800 pounds, maybe 3,000 with the driver.
Yeah.
3,000 my fat ass.
What kind of boost was that?
Oh, it's still on gate, so 9 pounds.
Okay.
I think it creeps to 10, but trying to get it straightened out before we turn the controller on.
Yeah.
So, which ain't bad. I mean,
No.
700 on a 5.3, so. might not make any more boost than 14, I don't know. It's only got a 7-pound spring in it, no CO2 on it. Or just try to put 20 to it, and probably only made like 14 or maybe 15.
So what's the plan next then?
He might have some, I don't know, he might have some springs in here, put in the gate, and either that or CO2, one of the two. 15.6, yeah, it didn't really pick up. I don't think it's going to make any more than that, because it's only making like 7 to 9 on gate,
So it's got what we believe is probably like an 8 or 9 pound spring in the Turbo Smart wastegates. We don't usually use them, so we don't have any other springs to put in them right now. So we're going to add CO2 to it. That'll take care of, you know, it doesn't matter what spring is in it. It could be a 2-pound spring, still be able to make whatever amount of boost we want to make with the CO2 on top of it. Right now, the boost controller, the 2 solenoids right here are what control the boost. Right now, they're just referenced off of the boost pressure. So it's basically taking the pressure that the turbo's making and feeding it to the wastegates to help keep them shut and in return make more boost. The issue with that is you're just working with whatever pressure you have. So if we're only making 10 pounds of boost, we're only working with 10 PSI back on the gates plus the spring. So ideally, everybody has different theories of how much you can make that way. Some people say just double what the spring is. It doesn't really matter what the theory is because it's only making what it wants to make. So with CO2, you have a bottle, a small 2.5 pound bottle of CO2 that'll have, you know, like 1,000 PSI in it with a regulator that regulates it to 80 or 100 PSI. But now you're using 80 or 100 PSI the whole time to control the boost. So you can basically, you know, you could put 60 pounds on top of the gates if that's what it needed to make whatever boost. Now we're not gonna run that much. Usually it's like 1-to-1. So if we put like 20, 25 pounds on top of the gate, we could make 20 or 25 pounds. That also depends on the wastegate spring that's in it. It's just kind of trial and error to see what it likes, and then usually after a couple test runs, you kind of know what it's gonna do every time you add a little bit more or take a little bit away. Usually it's just more controllable and you can push it further because you got a lot more pressure to push on top of the wastegate. So we're gonna get the CO2 bottle hooked up real quick, just kind of lay it off to the side, and then we'll worry about mounting it later off the dyno. 15 minutes or so we'll be rocking and rolling again. Should make more than 14 pounds.
We're gonna show you how he's got this set up here. This line going in there
to the CO2 bottle, and then you'll see, turn it on. Got your bottle pressure, which is just a hair over 1,000, and then it's regulated down to 45? Yeah, 45. So that should take care of our issues. Let's see what it does.
Now just to reiterate, this is not permanent.
No, yeah.
So
I'm not gonna lay it hanging through the window going down track.
this is to make sure everything works, and then they'll probably go to a CO2 setup later. And then you said you're gonna turn it down because you were commanding like 25.
Yeah, on the dome, so probably turn down like 10 or something, and start at 10.
14 to 25 real quick.
Yeah, I'll start at 10 and should make 18-ish. Typically, like if you got a 7-pound spring, for example, and you put 10 on top of it, 10 plus 7 is 17. So roughly, I mean, I think it was making 9.5. So.
What boost is that?
Yeah, 20, peaked at 20.
Okay.
Definitely working.
Doing what it's supposed to.
Yeah. Making power really high up in RPM too. Like it's just climbing at 7,100. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just gonna say, almost 7,500. Flying, dude. Holy shit. 7,800 RPM. Damn, that thing is revving up there.
Yeah, I think that's 8,000 right there. So I'm done. Yeah. I don't know what rods or anything are in this, so I don't want to, you know.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I know you guys just fixed a bunch of stuff on it.
Yeah, it's been a headache for sure.
What about boost? What was that at?
That should have been like 26 or something, but
This thing should stew.
yeah, I think the AR is a little big on the turbo or something. The power band's like real small, and you know it's a little laggy down low.
What is it anyways? Is that 98 or something?
No, it's an 85, but it's I looked at it. It doesn't have like the race cover, and I think it's a first gen from Jose, so it's like something that's 6 years old, and the turbo game it's pretty old. So
Should still work.
25, 26,
Okay.
26 rate at the end, and it's climbing. Like I was way off my number though.
Yeah,
I feel like if that power band was a little better, it would make more.
it makes sense. I know we were talking about last time about how this thing doesn't really read as much torque as,
Yeah.
especially the dyno jet, but
So that's a problem for another day. But especially if you have a car with like a 400 or a Glide, the torque is never right at all. So you know when you get something in here that makes 1,500 horsepower, the torque never is where it's supposed to be. The load on the 400 and where the converter flashes, especially on a turbo car, like it's not instant. For like even a small motor, big turbo car, so it's gonna be really laggy and everything. It doesn't hit really hard, and the converter takes a minute to flash, and it's just real gradual. So 570 torque is not right, obviously. So I think it should run, you know, I don't know, 890s, making 850 horsepower, because it's probably, yeah. I mean, it's a 3,000 pound car. I mean, if that, I'd be surprised if it's that. Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, he's gonna race it too.
Okay,
So
cool.
we'll see. I mean, he told me what he paid for, and I would have definitely paid the price he paid. So it just needed some TLC. We had some bugs, even on the dyno, broken throttle cable and all kinds of shit. So.
Well, at least he bought it and sent it straight here versus.
Yeah, literally didn't even take it off the trailer. Bought it. I think he got it from Ohio, and he asked me if I would do it. And I told him to send me pictures. So I really don't do this kind of work, and I thought it was really clean actually. So I told him we would. It wouldn't move off the trailer. It wouldn't even go in reverse because the trans brake wasn't hooked up, and the trans brake needs to be hooked up to put a Glide in reverse when it has a trans brake on it. So we fixed that, and one thing led to another, and we did a lot of work to it. I wouldn't say a lot, but we fixed a bunch of problems it had and put better shocks in it. Fuel system. I mean, I had it on the dyno the first time, and it maxed out at like 400 horsepower with the other pump on it. So right now the injector's about it and out anyways. It's like 80%. So I mean, I think you should probably get used to it. You can come back and change some stuff around.
So are you guys now going to do a CO2 setup on it? Obviously.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna do a CO2. That's like the best way to do a boost controller, honestly. I don't care what anyone says. The single 3-port garbage. It's best to have a fill and vent solenoid, and the fill is worked off CO2. It's really controllable. It doesn't get all wavy in the boost, and as long as your PIDs are set up correctly, it's definitely the best way. Many cars come in here with boost issues with the single 3-port on it, and it works off a duty cycle, and it's a bunch of bullshit. It should be, you know, a decent car. We did everything the correct way. You know, that wasn't done the correct way the first time.
Cool. Appreciate it.